Hi there, Andre here from Peak Motorcycles. I'm here at EICMA 2023. I'm here at the Kove stand. Now, if you've seen any of the other content on the channel, you know that I kind of found Kove last year, and off the back of that ordered one of the 450 rally bikes, even before it showed up. So I thought I'd come back and see what they had this year and actually have a really proper look around, in particular this bike over my shoulder, which is the 800X. I think when these come to the UK, that's really going to shake things up a lot. So yeah, I'll show you that. They have the new Dakar bike for this year as well, and a few other things. Really excited to show you and share with you what they have here on the stand. So first up, we have the Kove 800X Rally. Now I saw this sort of green colour in some of the shots before, and I really wasn't sure, but actually now I see it in the flesh. That actually looks really, really good. Really, really impressed. So that bike is 165 kilos curb weight, it says. That's curb weight, that's not fully fueled, so that's 40 kilos lighter than a Tenere A700, which is a lot, right? I mean, if you're looking for a middleweight adventure bike, most of them now tip the scales at well over 200 kilos, you know, some up as high as 230, 240. So I'll just give you a really close look at this. Hopefully the 4K does its thing. So the front brake looks like it's branded Tysco. It's got a wavy front disc, just a single disc at the front, not a double. Coming up, you see it's got those fork protectors. Looking at it from the front end, that front end looks not that different to what I've seen on the 450. It doesn't have an adjustable screen. The screen is just fixed, as you can see in there. So if I come round, you can have a look at here. This one does have a Scott steering damper fitted. It doesn't have keyless ignition. It does just have a regular key. It does have what I assume is a TFT dash, as mine did. Coming over looking at this, it's got a black fuel tank. It's got this sort of engine bars on the left-hand side. Coming down here, it looks like there's no quick shifter. It's just a standard conventional gear shift. Quite a nice cast side stand. Yeah, showing just the back end. It's got a full knobbly, so it's probably 50-50 tyre on the back end there. The back end actually looks pretty good with those LED indicators. Okay, tail tidy never looks remarkable, but it'll keep your back clean. The exhaust that's on there, I'm guessing, might be a straight through one. But actually, I say that only because when I look down the end, I could see quite a long way in there. Having said that, if that is the standard exhaust, even that itself is quite tidy. Coming down this side, it's got foot pegs with rubber inserts. It's got a metal bash guard underneath, and that one's already had a clatter on something. But yeah, just a really, really tidy bike. I know I keep talking about what bike I'm going to get next, and the more I look at one of these, I think that actually it's going to have to be. Now this one does have tube tyres, but what I'm just going to come and show you now is another variant of it they have over here called the 800X Pro. So this one with the gold wheels, as you can see, it's got the spokes laced outside. So you get lots of spokes on a lot of bikes with tubeless wheels. So this is definitely tubeless wheels that are on here. Yeah, it just looks remarkable. Very similar to the other bike when I come up and look at that, but then to come around the back, so it's got that luggage rack fitted to it. I'm not sure what else differentiates the Pro from the standard, but I'm just going to have a quick sit on it, you know, just to see. And yeah, you know what? That just feels pretty comfortable. The bars are quite high relative to my seating position. The controls are simple. You know, there's not a great deal to it. I suppose one criticism is maybe that, you know, if that's the view down at the dash, you're not going to add anything else to that because there just isn't room, and the screen is quite low. Then again, if this is supposed to be a big trailer, and I mean like an actual big trailer rather than just something that is a big trailer in name, standing, yeah, I feel very much like I'm in a comfortable position. Just standing up like that. I'm not wearing my riding gear, so it's a bit difficult to tell. But what I do see now I've come up here is that we've got the fork adjusters. They look like fully adjustable forks. If you look down in there as well, I can see a steering damper. The other one had the Scott damper that was sort of mounted on here. This one doesn't, but I can see a piston damper down through there. Just while I'm up here, I did also see that it has a dual USB port just on the side there with USB-C and USB-A. So yeah, really, really impressed by that. Yeah, maybe that will be the thing that I end up having. So looking at that, that says curb weight 190 kilos. So with a 20-litre fuel tank. So clearly that's got some extra weight from somewhere. So I should go and look up to see what's added that weight on. It does look like it's been handwritten in, so maybe it's wrong on the other one. but certainly 20 litre tank capacity, maybe that makes the difference. Looking at that, it also says it does have traction control with a quick shift and a slipper clutch. So yeah, that looks really, really good. So what we have up here is their 450 motocross bike, and the engine looks slightly familiar. I'm not going to talk a lot about motocross just because I can't. Here we have a remarkable looking 450 Rally. Looks a lot like the one I've got at home, almost the same in fact. Not sure if I'll be able to pick up any changes, if there are even any changes for this year. But yeah, if you haven't seen one of these in the flesh, this is kind of what they look like. I have a few videos on my channel about this with a few more to come. It's been a lot of fun. I've had mine for about 4 months, done about 1,000 miles on it so far. And yeah, it was based on the Dakar bike from last year. As we come up and have a look in here, so on mine I did fit the steering damper into those mounting holes there. It does come on the Pro version. But yeah, really, really nice bikes. They're £8,500 in the UK. I know they've just recently got European certification, so they should be available all across Europe. So here we have another 250cc, I guess that's a motocross bike, no headlamp. I'll come up to the Dakar bike in just a moment. Before that, they've got this ZF KY 250, which is, I think, similar to the motocross bike, but it just looks, well, it looks like a trail bike. Comes with, you know, turn signals and a proper number plate hanger. You know, very simple dash, as all these bikes do have. But if that's their answer to a CRF 250L, that looks great. That's called an MX 250 Enduro. Weight is 120 kilos dry, so 130 kilos, so probably 10-15 kilos lighter than a CRF 250, even if it's not full-on Enduro, sort of KTM sort of competing weight. But actually, just coming around that, when I look in there, it does have a fully adjustable rear shock. It does have the Yuan suspension. You can just about see that under there. It looks similar to what I have on my CRF 450. So, if this is priced similar sort of ballpark to a Honda CRF 300L, but comes with fully adjustable suspension and an LED headlamp, and it weighs 10 or 15 kilos lighter, they're onto a winner maybe. James, if you're watching this, I'll be giving you a call. So you probably saw it in the background when I came in, but this is the new Dakar bike for this year. So this is taking the 450 Rally from last year. So this does have a number of enhancements and modifications over, say, the bike that I have. And I understand that these aren't, at least in the short term, going to be coming to the road-going version. So yeah, just looking at it, it looks like the panels have all been designed slightly differently. The real fuel filler has moved from, it used to be in the middle of the back seat up there, and it's come down onto this side panel. I don't know if that's a redesign of that rear tank. Obviously it comes with the Akrapovic race exhaust. It's got a different finish on the panels apart from anything else. So instead of being the white, which I know some people had found had got dirty, was quite hard to clean. In fact, even when I look up there, looking at the tanks, that is different to how it is on my bike. Other than that, this one's got the dual ICO. It's got the road book holder already fitted, which again I don't have on my standard bike. But you know what, they did all right. All three bikes finished the Dakar last year, and they're going to enter again this year. And it's just going to show that you don't need to spend 40 grand to get a bike around the Dakar. Then again, it's still, they, as someone pointed out, yeah, but they finished, but they didn't win. But I think they have a plan to just improve year on year, and it looks like they are certainly innovating with the bike and coming up with new things. So yeah, really, really impressed. This is the Kove 450 Rally EX. So we have here, it looks like a racing version of the Kove Super Sports. So I think this has a few extra track-based bells and whistles, especially looking at that top yoke. What I will do is come and show you the 450R over here. I thought when I first heard about this, they were doing a 450, I thought, all right, they're just making more use out of the 450 single that's in the rally bike, but it isn't. It's an inline 450, which I'm sure is an absolute scream to ride. Not sure what one of these is going to cost to buy, but if it's priced competitively, yeah, I think that could be a huge amount of fun. Looking at the plate that's on that, curb weight 165 kilos, actually stamped on the VIN plate. It's a super sport, so not exactly my general cup of tea. I'm more of a sort of adventure, sort of trail bike sort of person. But the fact that they're doing this and coming up with these these bikes that have been kind of neglected, and I think, well, I hope that it's going to be really popular. I mean, like I say, this is the 450 RR Pro, 165 kilos, 14 litres of fuel, 52 kilowatts. I need to convert that to to horsepower for some people, including me, but I'll do that after. But yeah, really, really impressed with how that looks. This bike here is the Kove 321R. So it's just a small, compact, 145 kilo naked bike. Looks like it's running on a 300-ish cc twin engine just in there. But you know, the fit and finish on this, again, I think is really good. You know, they could have just, I guess, cobbled it together. But that tank, you know, just the switch gear and everything together, I just think makes for a really tight package. You know, I really like everything that Kove is doing. Now, it might be that you're thinking, well, he's only saying that because he's bought one. But honestly, I came to the stand last year and was so convinced that that persuaded me to buy one. And I think that was before all the people who really knew what they were doing with rally bikes had an opinion on them. A couple of the naked. So this one is the 125R. And again, just little design features like those side pods on the side of the tank. I'm guessing they don't actually do much, but there they are nevertheless. And look, it's a 125 with a single-sided swing arm. Again, you just don't really see that very much. Especially not on a bike, probably what the price point will be for this one, unless it is just a design experiment. So what we have here is the Kove ZF 500, which is sort of a scrambler styled bike. Yeah, but again, nicely finished. It's called a 510F, 191 kilos, which, okay, it's not light, but it's probably ballpark for bikes like this from other manufacturers, so they should be able to get away with that as well. And just, you know, nice finishes, like, you know, that tail end doesn't look that different to what's on the back end of my Ducati Scrambler, and these sort of brushed aluminium side panels just, you know, round it off really, really nicely. So here we have the Kove 510X, and again, it's a 500cc adventure bike. It's got lots of metal boxes on it. You know, a lot of manufacturers have these things out there, but this one has tubeless wheels. It has a cast side stand. It has a center stand. Yeah, just looking at all the bits and pieces that are on it, it just seems to be very well put together. You know, even the seats, you know, really nicely finished. You know, so nice quality stitching. Coming up and over the top, it's got a USB charger, and it has a 12-volt charger on the left-hand side as well. The mirrors look quite nice. The switch gear looks fairly good. I mean, the hand guards, I mean, they're just plastic, but actually, you know what? They look a bit like the stock hand guards that came from BMW on my bike. Just having a bit of a look down here. This one does actually have Nissin brakes, twin discs at the front on KYB suspension. And yeah, it's not a bad looking bike. And I think that's pretty tidy. And yeah, when those come, I think they'll do really well. I have seen a few people that have a version of this 510 already, and they rave about it. So yeah, I think, you know, Kove is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with as time goes on. So there we go. That is a look around the Kove stand here at EICMA 2023. I mean, for me, possibly one of the bikes to show is going to be that 800X adventure bike. I know there's faster, there's more glossy, there's more carbon fibre, there's all sorts of other things on other bikes here. But from what I've seen from the 450 Rally, I think that 800X, especially the one with tubeless wheels, you know, it's 20 horsepower more than a Tenere 700. I think it weighs about 20 kilos lighter, bike for bike. Looks a bit more like a trailer than a sort of an adventure tourer, but I think that's fine. You know, I already have my 1250 GS for doing trips like that. Anyway, I hope this has been interesting and useful, and if it has, hopefully check out some of my other content here from EICMA 2023. Thanks for watching.